For this lesson, you need to be in the ELA side of your binder. I've given you guys a packet, and that's what you're going to be using. The first thing you need to do is you are going to need to remove the staple, or you could just tear the pages from the staple so that you can separate the 3 pages. We will be using these 3 pages for a lesson on point of view. So after you've separated the 3 pages, go ahead and just put them aside. And you're going to take the smaller page that I've already cut into a small bit for you, and that's going to be the first thing that you're going to be gluing in. Now, you're going to need to save 2 pages because we haven't glued in these 2 pages in yet, but this is going to go after those 2 pages, which is after the character analysis. So after character analysis, skip 2 pages, go to your next blank page. So you're going to take that little piece of paper that I gave you, and you're going to go ahead and glue it in as the first page. Leave a ton of blank space underneath because we will be answering the guiding questions that are on that paper. So make sure you give yourself space to write. Then you're going to take the second paper from the packet, which is this one, and you're going to cut around all of the information. So just cut a square around it. You're also going to cut out separately the box at the bottom, and you'll see why in a second why we do that. So when you go to glue it in after you've cut it out, you're only going to put glue at the top part where the directions are, because this is going to become a flap part where you'll be able to write underneath it. As you can see, this flap lifts up, showing the small box that you had cut out before. So you glue only where the directions are, folding underneath it, creating a flap that allows you to still write underneath this flap. Then you're going to take the first page of the packet. You're going to cut around on the solid line for each and every one of the camera flaps. Then what you're going to do is you're going to fold on the dotted line and glue each of them in. I would glue in first, second, and third person on one page, and then the other third persons on another page. You only want to put glue at the top part above the dotted line because it's going to create a flap. We will be writing notes on the paper underneath the flap, so do not glue down the entire camera. The camera part should be freely able to go up or down. As you can see, I've done this with my second person and with my third person. Then on the next page, you're doing the same thing with third person objective, limited, and omniscient. Keep in mind, please put these in on the same order that I have. Objective first, then limited, and then omniscient. So again, only putting glue above the dotted line on the back to create a flap. Again, do not glue down the camera part. We will be taking notes there. On the last page, you're taking the last page of the packet, and you're going to do the same thing as you did before on the second page of the packet. You're cutting all around the story, and then the paper on the back, on the bottom, you're cutting that square out by itself. So right under the directions, you're going to make a fold, and you're going to put glue under the directions to create a flap. Then you're going to glue in the bottom box underneath that. We will be writing on these lines, so make sure that you do not get glue on those lines and you leave them blank. So let's go back to review what is on each of the 4 pages of point of view. 5 pages of point of view. So the first page looks like this with the guiding questions, leaving yourself space to write. Then you have this second page here, which has the flap, leaving yourself space to write underneath it to answer those questions. Then you have the cameras. First, second, and third person are on the first page, and third objective, third limited, and third omniscient are on the next page. Then finally, you have the point of view story that you can lift up as a flap to answer the following questions under the lines beneath. If you have any other questions or concerns, you can always message me on Edmodo. If not, go back and review parts of this video if you are still unsure of what to do.